Please feel very welcome to my short presentation about the following topic. Has the cat got your tongue, or the doctor? Countering social rejection by fostering interculturality in the multilingual classroom. Well, the title is to some extent particular, isn't it? Has the cat got your tongue, or the doctor? Well, the first part of that sentence makes reference to an English expression which refers to silence. And has the doctor got your tongue is to be taken literally. Because as Franke, 1924, describes, he has been the first linguistic surgeon who has operated a little girl who he convinced, and he mentions that word literally in his published research article back then, to undertake that surgery so that the tongue could be removed in order to avoid a mispronunciation of the S, which commonly is known as lisping. Well, I'm not going into the details of lisping and how it could be phonetically described. There are many variations of this pronunciation, this very particular pronunciation. This is not a phonetic study, it's a social linguistic and psycholinguistic study mainly. And the main target of this exploratory study is to outline opportunities for multilingual learners to recover the feeling of belonging to society because they don't feel part of society. We'll go deeper into this later. As recent studies show, the German-speaking society of Germany historically tends to sanction and lisp socially. This situation generates feelings of low and non-acceptance. In lisping speakers, it has imminent repercussions on a social, psychological level, I believe. By reflecting about how this issue was handled in the past, for example, when, as mentioned, tongues were cut out, or even vocal cord liftings more recently have been carried out to adapt the use of language, the pronunciation of a person to the official one in a country, in this case in Germany, to take care of the problem. This paper attempts to provide some insights into the feelings of social acceptance of these learners in the classroom and some alternatives to having them on the operating table. Interculturality is an all-present and indispensable component in the multilingual classroom. We have learned that throughout the years, and this is essential for this endeavor. The outcome of this exploration is believed to sow a tiny seed for a maybe promising but highly specialized research area, which is believed to have been understudied to date. We are talking about bilingual speakers between the German and Spanish language who prefer the Spanish language to the German. Why can that be? There are many reasons that could be found. We are focusing on a very particular one. The feelings of not belonging to the German society. We are talking, by the way, about German in Germany, because it could be as well German in Austria or Switzerland, but we are focusing on Germany, where there has been a tradition of trying to bring people to speak the same language. This is profoundly related to perfectionism and began during the Romantic period in Germany with Humboldt, Herder, etc. And only 100 years ago, such surgeries have been carried out instead of trying to get rid of the problem, even if it sounds a little bit colloquial, with alternative treatments, such as, for example, a teacher in a classroom, no matter if at school or at university, trying to convey that a different pronunciation can be perfectly admissible. This is the case with accents, for example. Accents are a divergent pronunciation. But why do people stare sometimes at people who have a different accent instead of simply accepting? So this has to do with reactions. And as humans as we are, like for example, prejudices as well, they are inherent to our persona. We cannot switch them off and on again. That's not possible. In our study, we have found out that lisping persons have some patterns they share. For example, that they conceive and as well perceive reactions, and when they perceive them, they react to them. In this case, it would be a not so good reaction because they would not tend to still speak the mother language, first language, but the other language, because there they are not stared at in the same way. How can this happen? Well, without going too much into the details, this is a highly interesting research area, which I hope to have attracted your attention a little bit for it. And I would be really happy if this really, really highly specific research area could be considered. And moreover, it would be important as well to implement it into the classroom. How could we do that? Teachers have a huge responsibility in the training of pupils. Let it be pupils, let it be students, let it be persons. At the end, syllabi are very strict. The key responsibilities that teachers need to convey and competencies, like for example, the multilingual and multi-dimensional model that Kelly proposed in 2004, or Biram's thoughts about interculturality in the multilingual classroom, which are highly important from my point of view. It is as well important to convey feelings of acceptance in the classroom so that the learning atmosphere is excellent, the best we can strive to have, and so that the experience for the students is as well the best possible. Only then ears can be as much open as possible for them, willingness to learn as well, and especially competencies on an intercultural level could be conveyed as it would be important, because nowadays we are training persons who are often multilingual, more often than ever. There is over 85% on the planet, according to statistical sources, who are at least bilingual, and we are not including trilingual people or people who speak even more languages. So it is more important than ever to convey feelings of acceptance of speakers who have a divergent pronunciation. Let it be whatever pronunciation it may be, but especially the one I have addressed in my paper, which is a mispronunciation of the S in the German language in bilingual speakers of German and Spanish. Thank you very much for your attention and giving me the opportunity to be invited to speak here and to hand in my paper. Thank you.